Hello there, boys and girls. I hope you're I hope you're all sitting comfortably. I've got myself a glass of port, and I've also decided to have a look at the FAQ for the rulebook, and thought I'd give you my thoughts. I have again forgotten to correct my chair before. Forgotten to correct my chair and my microphone position before I start talking. Pro. I hope you like the new artwork on this video. Anyway, here's the FAQ. I'm just going to go through them all. It shouldn't take too long. There's not that much. Some people are saying massive changes. I don't really think there have been that many. I think it's just clarifying stuff that I felt was fairly obvious. There is a new rule introduced, though, for cannons. So, anyway. General principles: can a unit arrayed in close order or open order be one model wide? This is a good clarification because it's not tremendously clear in the rulebook whether you can form a rank at all, whether you want the rank bonus or not, at a tighter rankage than. So that's good. So essentially, your rank can be one model wide. If wizard miss, I thought that was pretty straightforward. Looking at the rules. Where's magic? Is it here? Yeah. Spell is cast, however, you cannot attempt to cast any more spells for the remainder of the current. It says you, as in you, the player, not the wizard. So I thought that was pretty clear, but obviously it needed clarification. What happens to remains in play if it's cast again? It ends immediately. Yeah, I think it says that somewhere. Can a model wearing armor cast a bound spell? Of course it can, because it's the item giving the spell, not the wizard. Wizards, in order to cast Assailment, only need to be in the fighting rank, which I think is a good clarification. That's how I thought the rule read, but it's good that they've clarified that. If a wizard declines a challenge, do you lose the benefit of self spells? Yeah. Again, I thought that was pretty obvious. I thought that's what it said. If a unit flies over a dangerous terrain, magical vortex, does it have to roll to get wounded? Yes. Again, I thought that was already on there. Is the unit's possible maximum charge range the maximum distance from an enemy unit at which it can declare a charge, or the maximum distance it can move? It's a maximum distance from the enemy from which it can declare a charge. So charge move. Where is it? Where's the maximum charge? Move. Basic movement. So you've got basic movement, which is maneuvers, blah, 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 blah. The charge move. What does it say what the maximum is? Oh, bloody thing. I'm just going to have to search it, aren't I? Oh, here we go. Here we go. The unit's maximum possible charge range is determined by adding 6, the highest possible result of to its current movement characteristic, taking into account any modifiers that might apply to its movement characteristic. So if you're charging through terrain, well, where over 25% of your unit is going through terrain, you're -1 to that. So that's the maximum possible charge range. Now, the reason for this clarification is because of it's the maximum distance from which it can declare a charge. Maximum possible charge range is determined the highest possible to its current move. I don't know whether that's cleared that up. Because, like, the maximum distance from an enemy unit which it can declare a charge is the maximum distance it can move. Isn't it? How can it move more? Charge move. Charge move. Oh, okay. Yeah, I suppose with that little final wheel, which is basically a free... this free wheel would give you more move. Maybe that's the question. I don't know. When a unit performs move, so this is something I've seen on a few battle reports. So, can its front edge pass through another unit? No. The only exception to this is when a unit pivots. It's not actually the only exception, sort of, because if two of your units are charging an enemy unit, they kind of charge simultaneously. So you measure through the other unit, maybe. You might maneuver through, however, it's kind of assumed that it's not there when you're maneuvering through it. So it's not... I mean, I'd have added something about, but you can, blah, 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 blah. When a unit wheels, is it acceptable for a rear corner to pass through another unit? Yes, they say that somewhere in the rules. When a unit redirects a charge, can it charge a unit that lies beyond its maximum possible charge range? No. Like, I don't know. What? So basically, redirected charges is if you charge something, you can redirect in. I mean, this figure's pretty helpful actually. So once the unit has, so A has decided to charge unit B, B's decided to flee, so A's taken a leadership test, and then A can charge C instead. Yeah. I mean, I don't understand how you would get further. I know there's Swift Stride, but Swift Stride only offers an additional 3 to your maximum, but it's not like... I'm pretty sure that's how that works. Where's special rule? I literally just saw it, and then weapons of war, special rules, Swift Stride. Where's Swift Stride? There it is. Increases its maximum possible charge range by 3, and when it makes a charge. So actually, I've been reading that as though the D6, the maximum it can give you, is an extra 3, but I don't think that's true. Actually, I think you do add the D, so it's possible to add 12 onto your charge, onto your movement characteristic for a charge. However, your maximum possible charge range is increased by 3. That's interesting. I think, yeah. I mean, that is what it says, so I've just read that wrong. Okay, that's useful to know. If a unit is arrayed in... Yeah, I mean, that's already in the rules, I think. So basically, if you peg up the field with some fast cavalry and then pivot them at the end to do their... quick turn, can you then, like one unit accidentally, like here, can you quick turn so these sort of get a bit extra move to go to the... Well, no, because you've gone too far. when a unit is there any limit? It says no model can be placed more than twice its movement characteristic. But I don't know how that interacts with marching column. If you got reserve move, can't you enter the table on marching column? And then a marching column is where a unit is like longer than it is wide. So I don't know why you couldn't do a marching column move with it. Can a model use a breath? No, because a breath weapon is a missile weapon. I mean, it's pretty clear, and you can't march and use a breath weapon. I mean, it says that. I don't know why you need that. Can a unit that is partially on a hill, shooting 2 ranks, or draw a line of sight across to other units that are not themselves on a hill? Yes. I mean, again, yeah. That's what the rules say. I don't see why that one's a particular challenge. Can a unit draw a line of sight? And no. I mean, yeah. So if you're at the top of the hill, you can look over people that are halfway up the hill. But if you're both on the top of the hill, no. I mean, it's common sense, isn't it? Can a cannon target a point on the ground if woods or hill? No, because you need to. You need to pick a point that you can see. I think is the rule. Where's? Oh, hold on. It's not there, is it? It's there. Choose a point both within the war machine's line of sight. Yeah. So if it's the other side of a wood or a hill, it's not in line of sight, so you can't. I don't know why that needs to be there. Again, same. Can it choose to follow or use different weapons during the next turn? It either gives ground or falls back in good order. So that's interesting. I actually read fall back in good order as though it's a new combat because the pursuer counts as charging, but apparently that means you have to keep the same weapon even if you fall back in good order. So that's interesting. That's an update for me, to be honest. What happens to a unit that gives ground within 2 of the edge of the battlefield? It gets removed from play. Yeah. What happens if it cannot give ground due to the presence of another unit? Unit moves. Yeah. If you can't give ground because something's in the way, you don't give ground. If a wizard engages in a challenge, uses a silent spell that uses a template, can you do the template as usual? Or is it the other? So some assailment spells, which are like magic that's cast in combat, you put down the template. I think there's only one actually, but anyway, do you still do that? The answer is no. You can only hit the other participant in a challenge, but it says that participant is hit, so that's interesting. So you get an auto hit, but this one's a bit. And they've kind of said in brackets, like, duh. So, if your wizard blows up and kills a load of stuff, do those casualties cause a panic test? Well, yeah, of course. Yeah, so if you've got a unit with a unit strength of 5 and you kill 2 of them and then they panic, they've only got a unit strength of 3. So does that unit strength 3 unit panicking cause panic? Yes. Because it was 5 before it was panicked, as it were. Can you choose not to roll for ambushes? No, unless the scenario says so. This one's interesting. If you've got Armour Bane, which is 6s to wound, do extra AP equal to X. Also have poisoned attacks, which is roll 6s to hit, automatically wound. What happens if I roll 6 to hit? Well, you can actually... in this edition, unlike AOS, where it's just tough, you don't get it. In this game, if you roll a 6 to hit, you can choose to ignore the auto wound and try and have a roll for Armour Bane. However, if you fail the wound roll, you've lost your hit. This one, I'm a bit disappointed by, really. So, like, some mounted models have counter charge, others don't, even though they have the same type of mount. Is this intentional? So the classic example here is Chaos Chosen Knights and Chaos Lords. Chaos Chosen Knights have counter charge, Chaos Lords do not, even if you put them on a Chaos Steed. So if you put your Chaos Lord on Chaos Steed in a unit of chosen Chaos Knights, which are basically like a bodyguard, then you lose countercharge, which is an amazing rule. So you're never going to put a Chaos Lord in with a bunch of chosen knights because you lose that fantastic ability, which has so many great tactical uses. It's brilliant. Can a model, because basically if you do get your counter charge off and you get +3 to your initiative for free, and you count as charging for using your lances, so it's wonderful. Can you get a large target see over another large target? No, again, obviously. If a character without Vanguard joins a unit with Vanguard, which is basically after deployment, you can make an additional move with your unit, a normal move, not a march or anything. No, if the unit's formed, it will not be able to make a Vanguard move. So if it's like open order or closed order, you can't make a Vanguard move. If it's in skirmish, the unit can leave the character behind though. Ponderous is -2 to hit if you've moved. Quick shot is ignore move and shoot penalties. They're saying it's just -1 now, so it's not like quick shot cancels out ponderous. Can a fleeing character use rallying cry? So that's an ability that some lords have to attempt to rally a unit like twice. The answer is no, you can't use it, which is, fair and sensible, but I don't think that's actually clarified in the rules, so that's a decent clarification. If you pass regen and you're hit with multiple wounds, do I still need to roll the dice? Yeah, because the result of that... So, for instance, if you're hit with like, I don't know, let's take an extreme example, a D6 wound, a multiple wound D6 or something, and you've got a regen 5, and you pass your regen 5, however, you still need to roll the D6 to see how much combat result that regenerated model, would have got. Can he deploy using scouts to make a Vanguard move? No, I think that actually says somewhere in the rules, or it's heavily implied anyway. Let's have a look. Special rules. I've gone too far again. Special rules. Special rules. Special rules. What am I looking for? I've forgot. Bloody brain. Why doesn't it work properly? Scouts and Vanguard. Oh yeah, I was going to the end. V for Vanguard. After deployment, units with... Okay. And Scouts says... Unit of special rules may be deployed after all other units. They may be deployed... Can I charge? Actually, no, it's not actually clarified in the rules. I thought you could use one or the other, but it doesn't actually say that Scouts can't Vanguard. So if you had Scouts and Vanguard, you could, until this clarification, you could hypothetically put your Scouts at the edge of their territory and then use Vanguard to move into it. I mean, actually, I don't know why they've done that, because that would kind of make sense. They're like really advanced Scouts. So you could have advanced forces, which is Vanguard. You could have advanced scouts, which is like, scouting ahead. But then you could have spies or something, like clandestine assassins or something that have both. But anyway, when a unit does not have stupid, joined by a character that does, the unit becomes stupid to subject to stupid. Yes. What happens if the character leaves? The unit is not subject to stupid. Yeah, I think it actually says that. Can a character, veteran, blah, 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 blah. No, of course they can't. I mean, that's, again, I think that's pretty useful. Can you break coherency of a unit of skirmishers? No. Cannot remove a model from unit. I've seen that actually in a couple of battle reports where people have like taken models from the middle and broken coherency. Can't do that. You should take like models to retain coherency. In such cases, simply replace the So if you've like got a standard and you got a champion and like a nobody in the middle, you can take the nobody out, but then you move either the standard or the champion. You move the standard, to where the nobody was. When a character takes a chariot's mount, do they replace one of their crew? No, it says that in the rules. If a warband character joins a warband with a rank bonus award as the modifier to the leadership, increase their command range? Yes. I mean, I could see why those rules might not interact, but they do, and it's so that's a good clarification. Can cannons target lone characters because nobody else can shoot lone characters because they're protected by a unit? And they've said they can't even be struck. Unless lone character's base lies directly underneath the strike point of the cannonball. So you can still snipe characters with cannons, but after you pick your point, your bounce has to start on the lone character's base, and then they're hit. Name character is equipped with a mundane, such as lance or spear. Can they shoot? No, you've got to use a magic weapon. Yeah. Something about battlefield sizes, whatever. Wizarding hat. Can they wear armor? Yeah, because it's a wizarding hat that's a wizard, not the actual wearer, which is what it says. Can you wear a wizarding hat on top of another magic hat? Yes. Because one's an enchanted, the other's type of magic armor, so yeah. It's a bedazzling wizarding hat. This is quite cool. Scroll of transmogrification. I hate that rule. Like, I mean, it's characterful and cool, but like, it's not really. It's not a good rule in general. A successful use against a wizard on a dragon. What happens to the mount? Well, the wizard's transmogrified, but not the mount. I think it kind of implies that in the rules, but it doesn't actually say. So that's a good clarification. Then there's some other stuff at the bottom. So that's the recent FAQ. I hope it's been helpful. Subscribe, share, like, whatever. And I'll catch you around. Toodles.